is it. It's the start of the stream. I'm gonna kill time for a minute while I tweet it out. And it's tweeted. And the stream's going. Okay. Minna yokoso. Welcome to Game Grammar Plays Poketo Monster San. This is Tom. I'm Tom. Anyways, we just moved to a new island, and this professor already wants to give me Pokemon, which is great. But first we have to find the Island King, and we can't find him. We're totally lost. So that's what we're going to do today. And after we find him, hopefully he's going to give us a new Pokemon. So stick around. I'm going to be taking comments from the chat to decide which Pokemon we are going to be picking as our starter. Yes, that is right. I do not get to pick the Pokemon I am playing with. It is very difficult. So, without further ado, let's begin. All right. So of course, this is our first start menu. Our main option is Tsuzuki kara hajimeru, which means to begin from kara, the continuation, Tsuzuki. So it's like to pick up where you left off, basically. And you can see we have our Pureijikan, which is the time period for which we have played already, which is 48 minutes. Pretty good. All right. So as I said, we left off, the professor took us up here, but we cannot find the kahuna anywhere. And we're just going to have to go find him ourselves, even though we don't know what he looks like. What? A mysterious girl with no name? Oh my goodness. She is saying, Iseki ni nani ga aru toyu no desu? So, what this means is, in the ancient ruins, Iseki ni, what? Nani ga, what? Aru toyu. So it's like, nani ga aru toyu. You say there is something. No desu is kind of an explanatory, or it's more of a question, like making the question a little softer. So she's like, you're saying that there's something in the ancient ruins? Here, I'm going to try something. You might notice in the top right little window is showing a different thing on my screen, which is a dictionary. So as you can see, Iseki, historic ruins, remains, relics. I hope that's popping up. Yep. Okay. So I'll be trying to use that top part of the screen off and on, not too frequently, just to highlight special, somewhat more uncommon vocab words. Konosaki, ikusa no iseki. So, konosaki, so saki means in front of, and kono is this. So, konosaki is beyond this point, and ikusa means battle or war, and then iseki is ancient ruins. So, a ikusa no iseki is the ruins of a war or a battle. So let's check it out. Second, I'm gonna pull this up on my on my phone so that I can see what is going on in the comments. Okay, there we go. That's probably something I should have done before I started playing. But you know, life is too short to worry about that. We've got to climb this hill. Question mark? Baggu kara denai de dareka ni mirareta ra komarimasu. Okay, so this baggu kara denai de is just a super great standard phrase for beginning beginning grammar learners. So denai is the negative deru, so it's to come out becomes do not come out. And when you do the de like that, that's actually te form. So it's a negative te form. It's the instruction do not come out. Denai de. And then bagu is bag and kara is from. So do not come out from the bag. Bagu kara denai de. And then dareka. Dare means who. But if you have dareka, it becomes someone. So dareka ni miraretara means if you were seen by someone. Miraretara is a conditional if you were seen. Mirareru. So if you were seen by someone, komarimasu. That's we will be in trouble. So you know. Please don't come out of the bag. If someone saw you, we'd be in trouble. Hi everyone in the chat. Glad to have you here. Let's check it out. Oh my goodness. What is that thing? And Spears, this is just like my Japanese animes. This is just like one of my animes. Living the anime. Doshitano or kimi wa. So kimi wa is just kimi just means you. So kimi wa is your start to say like who are you? Doshitano means more like what's wrong? So let's ask what's wrong. Tasukete kudasai. So kudasai is our standard te kudasai, like please do it. Tasukete is save me, tasukeru, to, or not just me or another person, you know, to help someone. So tasukete kudasai. Morgan says there's kanji in the Japanese games now. I'm shocked. Yeah, it's an option. When you begin your game, you can choose either kanji or hiragana. They've had it since black and white. Hoshigumo-chan no. Okay, so hoshigumo is literally star, hoshi, and kumo, cloud, put together. So it's hoshigumo-chan. It's the same kanji for the actual word for nebula, which is seiyun, but you know, it's a nickname, hoshigumo-chan. In English, it's called nebi, I believe. Yeah. So then the O right here indicates that this hoshigumo-chan is a thing that we are supposed to tasukete kudasai. So, you know, we're going to have to go save hoshigumo-chan. Because it's getting attacked by all those freaking onisuzumes. And it's crying. Are those arms? I've been trying to figure this out. I'm not sure if those are arms or not. Onisuzume-san ni osowarete mo watashi kowakute. Flash Drive asks, is there furigana for Pokemon games? Unfortunately, no. If you really need the help, I recommend just pulling it up in the hiragana mode if you're playing it. I'm going to be posting transcripts of these episodes actually on our website soon, and you'll be able to check out like all the different things. All the different things. You will be able to translate the kanji to hiragana, katakana yourself. There's several different apps for it, like Anki that I like to use. I'll send some links when I post them online. But yeah, it's something we'll work through it. But it's really nice to have kanji, in my opinion. Even if you don't know the kanji, it's good to start to get to know them. It's good to practice reading with them. And honestly, it just makes learning the language a lot easier. Okay, so, got distracted. Onisuzume-san ni osoware. So, this is a word I did have to look up. So let's use our dictionary, even though I already did it. So, it comes from osou, which means to attack. And the osoware makes it a passive form. And when you have a ni passive form, followed by a passive form, what that means is that the thing with the ni next to it is the one doing the action. And our subject of the sentence is being acted upon. The subject in this case is going to be Hoshigumo-chan. So Hoshigumo-chan wa, it's not stated, but it's effectively there. And then Onisuzume-san ni, so by the Spearows, osoware, it's being attacked by them. Demo, but watashi kowakute, she's just scared, kawaii. Oh, thank you, that random gamer. Ashi ga sukunjatte. So ashi is leg or foot. You know, that whole thing you've got down there. That's all ashi. And sukumu. Sukumu is another word I'm going to pull up on the dictionary. It means to cower or to be cramped. Other dictionaries I've used are like to freeze, or, you know, you just aren't able to move it. So basically, this is also the teishimau form, but contracted. So when you use a teishimau, that's like, it is happening, or I did it regrettably. So she's filled with regret, but she cannot move herself. She cannot get out there. She's just too scared. So of course, we are fearless, and we're just gonna walk out here, even though this bridge is jank. Like, oh my goodness. Oh no. And he's being attacked, but as I said, just like my animes, we're gonna save Hoshigumo-chan. And it's gonna use its brilliant sparkles to... This is actually probably way worse. Hoshigumo-chan's not the smartest. What dictionary am I using? This is a app called JLookup. I'm downloading it because it doesn't use... you can download on their website. It's actually really nice, but it is an older program. And I mostly got it because it won't use my internet. So I can use my internet for, you know, streaming instead of looking up things on the internet. How long will the stream last for today? Probably about like 45 minutes is what I'm aiming for each of these streams. Last time it went over, so who knows. Pui. Yokatta desu. Okay, so yokatta comes from yoi or I. It's our past tense for good, so it was good. What it really means is more like, thank goodness, like everything's okay. It didn't turn out terribly. Which is a pretty good thing to say when your Pokemon and this boy almost fell off of a cliff into a river for you, you know. Anata, mata chikara o tsukao to shite. So anata, the first time I read this sentence, I thought she was talking about me, the player, anata. But you'll see pretty soon she's actually talking about Hoshigumo-chan. Anata, mata is again, chikara o tsukao to shite. So, if you look in a dictionary, toshite is usually like in the role of, but in this case, she's actually using tsukao to shite, which is a form of tsukao to suru, which means to try to do this. So, mata chikara o tsukao to shite means, again, power tried to use. We saw in the very beginning of the game that there was a big blue light just like that, so, you know, this is probably our second time. Hoshigumo-chan tries to use its power sometimes. あの後、動けなくなったでしょ? So, after that, ano, so the ano is when it uses its power, so after you use your power, 動けなく, so 動けなくなった means become unable to move. So, Hoshigumo-chan's not going to be very good at moving for a little while. あんな姿見たくないのです. So, あんなsugata. Sugata is form or figure. And mitakunai no desu is, so mitai is want to see or want to look at. So mitakunai is do not want to see. And she's saying, I don't want to see you like that, where you can't move and you're just like totally wiped out because you tried to use your power. Gomen nasai is, no, sorry. Ano toki, at that time. She's talking about a different time now. This is the time inferred for the player, for us, not for the main character. Ano toki is the time she was in creepy white building. Anata wa watashi o tasukete kureta. So, this anata is yet again not us, it's Hoshigumo, and watashi o tasukete. So that's saved me. And we saw at the beginning with the big blue light, somehow Hoshigumo saved them. Corey's asking how frequently do I think I'll be doing these streams of Pokemon Sun? I'm aiming for at least once a week. You know, I'm trying to do other support stuff with it too, and I'm still trying to do other game grammar videos, so, you know, it won't be super frequently, but I want to make it a steady clip. Anyways, you saved me. Nano ni, anata o mamore nakute. So, nano ni. The no ni is used at the end of a sentence quite a bit to kind of make a despite that, or, but, so she's saying, despite the fact that you saved me, あなたを守れなくて, I cannot protect you, 守れる, to be able to protect, and 守れない, to not be able to protect, and then the くて is the て form, あなたを守れなくて, pew. Huh? どうしたのですか? So, yet again, we said どうしたの is kind of a what's wrong? But since it's not really a problem in this case, it's more like, what's up? What are you doing? And there's a little glittering light on the ground, which in video games mean that there's something important there. Hikari kagayaku isi. So, kagayaku means to like sparkle, and hikari means light. So, hikari kagayaku just means like a glittering, sparkling light. It seems a little redundant in English, but it just adds a little bit of flavor and pizzazz to it. And isi means stone. So when you have a verb like kagayaku right next to isi, it's modifying it. So it is a stone that sparkles and glitters with light. Nandaka atatakai kanji desu. So nandaka is like a little bit, and atatakai is warm. And she's using the hiragana here instead of the kanji, but there are a couple different kanji for tatakai. And then kanji, this kanji is different than the Chinese character's kanji. It is this one, feeling, sense, impression, that I've highlighted on the screen. So yeah, a tatakai kanji is like a warm feeling. So it's nandaka, a little bit of an atatakai kanji, warm feeling. 申し訳ありません. So 申し訳ありません literally means ありません, there is not. 申し訳, like an excuse that I can say. I have no excuse. You have my apologies. It's kind of one of those phrases you see. Like, I bet if I type it into the dictionary, it'll pop up with something. Let's see. Yep. See? Inexcusable. 危ないところを助けてくださり、心より感謝しております. 危ない means dangerous, and ところ means place, but it can also mean situation. So 危ないところ is like a dangerous circumstance. And お助けてくださり. So you saved us from the 危ないところ. 心より, which yori usually means like more than that, but in this case, it's kind of like, it's more of a from. So 心より感謝しております. So like, kansha is gratefulness, or grateful, gratitude, Kansha has that same kan as kanji, feeling good earlier. So, kansha, thank you, gratitude. And from the heart, I am thankful from the heart. You have my gratitude. So we can ask her, Kimi wa, finally, you are? Or Shima Kingu, are you an island king? I'm going to say Kimi wa, because she doesn't look like an island king to me. But I might be wrong. Don't judge a book by its cover, everybody. Kore means this. あなたの石ですよね. So, あなたの石です just means this is a stone. あなたの modifies it, saying it is yours. So, this is your stone. I mean, I'm not the one who found it, but I take weird rocks all the time. トムは輝く石を手に入れた. Tom obtained 手に入れた the sparkling stone 輝く石. Oh. トムは輝く石を大切なものポケットにしまった. So Tom put the sparkling stone in the important items pocket. 大切なもの important items pocket. ポケット. この子のこと誰にも言わないでください. So, she's using the katakana ko to kind of specify that she's talking about the Hoshigumo-chan right there. It's kind of like the kodomoko, child. So, it's a very diminutive, but they don't want to use the kanji for that, probably because it's more for people. Or, also using the kanji on its own would probably be a little weird. Yeah, but it specifies in this case... katakana makes it clearly a name you're referring to someone. If you just use two hiragana, kono kono, like, that just gets a little confusing and hard to read. So, there we have a katakana, konoko no koto. So koto is like the intangible thing we've talked about before. So this kid's thing, like this whole affair, dare ni mo iwanai de. That's our like do not do form. So that's do not tell anybody about it. Please kudasai. Himitsu de onegai shimasu. So himitsu is secret. And if you onegai shimasu thing, something that's like you're gonna do it. So please keep it a secret. Himitsu de onegai shimasu. Very polite. Bag ni haitte kudasai. So please get in the bag. Hairu is to get into, and ni is using the direction. You know, the bag is the destination. Bag ni haitte kudasai. Oh, Croy, it's awesome that these videos are helping you play through the game in Japanese. It takes a lot of dedication to play through the games in Japanese, especially for the first time. This is my third Pokemon game I'm playing through in Japanese, and it's a lot easier. Like, it's remarkable how much your work actually does pay off. You don't realize while you're playing the game. It's not until like I start this one, and starting this game is so much easier than starting Pokemon X, which is so much easier than starting Pokemon Black 2. Like, it's crazy. I had a teacher who would make fun of me for saying a lot. この子、もしかしたらまた襲われるかもしれません. So this child, もしかしたら, we saw this in the last episode. It means perhaps or probably. This is a great example of something that you should put on your like flashcards or write down so you remember it, because what happened with me is when I was playing through this section the first time, I played through it once to make sure I went over vocab. Sorry for ruining the illusion. It was a very quick playthrough though. I recognized that I had seen it before, but I couldn't remember exactly what it meant. I was like, well, perhaps it means perhaps. So this is a great example. You know, if you see it twice and you still don't know it, just write it down, because if they're going to use it twice, it's probably an important word to know. So, もしかしたら, perhaps, また襲われるかもしれません. This かもしれません, or even just かもしれない, かも, is a very common, like, maybe, perhaps, I don't know. The しれません is very much I don't know. But you're saying, like, it's a possibility, maybe it'll happen. And she's saying 襲われる, to be attacked, また again. So, また襲われるかもしれません is maybe we're going to be attacked again. She really doesn't want that to happen. So, she's going to say, this is, I wrote this one down. This is a good one though. It means selfish. Yeah, migate. Oh, is it not going to show up in here? Huh, this dictionary doesn't even have it. Maybe I wrote it down wrong. Anyways, those first three kanji with the de next to it, migate de, means selfishly, and moshiwake arimasen ga. So yet again we have the it is inexcusable. In the ga, usually it's a subject marker, but when it's at the end of a sentence, it's kind of a point of hesitance. They're trying to stop. It's kind of like stalling for time. You're like, but you know. So it's inexcusable, but hiroba made, up to the like the town square, hiroba made, go issho shite kudasai. So issho, like issho means together. Go issho is just a very polite issho. So together towards the town square, please do it. Shite kudasai. She's asking if you can take them there. Just another Mike asks me, how long have I studied Japanese? And I've been studying, oh man. While we're running, I'm going to do the math in my head. I studied for 1 year in university, but it was a 2-year course equivalent. I lived in Japan for a couple summers. And then the past couple years, I've just kind of been doing self-study, playing games, reading books, stuff like that. So I'd say total it's been about 3 or 4 years. If you're not focused with self-study like I was the first year and a half, though, you really don't get a lot done. It's not very productive. And even a lot of time after that has been kind of like building up back to where I was at the end of my initial study period. So you gotta stick with it. Kukui is saying, "Oh, Tomu, Shima King wa." So, oh, Tom, the island king is inakatta yo da ga. So, inai, inakatta, comes from iru, to be, like that's what you use for people or animals. But inai is not here, or is not existing. So inakatta is like was not here, yo da ga. So it seems like this yo is a seems like. So it seems like he wasn't here, but that's our ga again. But joshu ni attan da ne. So joshu, let's look it up. It means helper or like assistant. Joshu, helper, helpmeet, assistant. So if you joshu ni atta, it means you met my assistant, didn't you? Da ne. Dewa, aretamete shoukai shiyou ka? So dewa is like, well then, and aratamete, we saw this in the last video. This is yet again another example of recurring vocabulary. It means formally, like formally, not formerly, formally. So formally, shoukai shiyou ka? Why don't we introduce ourselves? Kochira, boku no not boku no aite. I almost said aite. That's rival. Completely different kanji. Let's pull up aite's kanji just to like make fun of me and see how different they look. Right here. This one. They both end in the same te, but you know, pretty different. Anyways, boku no joshu. So, kochira literally means like this direction, and it can be used to refer to yourself, but it can also be used to refer to people nearby you, just like it's used right here. He's referring to the girl. Kochira, boku no my joshu, assistant. Hai, yes, ririe to moshimasu. So, it's Lily in English. Apparently, this ririe comes more from the German word for lily. I don't know. I don't speak German. Ririe to moshimasu. So, I am called that. The moshimasu is just a more formal, more polite version of imasu in this case. Yeah. Kuku used it too, so it's not like just because she's a more polite person. It's just when you're being formally introduced, you want to be polite. Kukui, Ririe ga deatta no ga kino Aurora ni kitta bakari no. Okay, so let's just focus on that first line because it's going to go away. Ririe ga deatta no ga. So that ga is, so it's like, I can see you already met, or Lily, you already met him, or you already met Lily, sorry. Okay, getting this straight in my mind. I'm sorry, got totally tripped up. So it's like, deatta is like to happen to meet, deau. It's like go out and meet. It's a like happenstance, like, oh, what a coincidence kind of thing. You met them, you came across them. So like, you already came across, Lily already came across him, but kino, yesterday, Aurora ni kitta bakari. So we already talked about yesterday. The bakari is like it just happened right now. So kita is come to. Aurora ni kita is just came to Alola. And the bakari really emphasizes that it just happened. Kino, like yesterday. Kita bakari no tomu da yo. So it's the Tom that just came to Alola yesterday. Oh, he's probably talking about me. Iro oshiete agete yo. Iro means various things, like miscellaneous things, and oshiete is to teach, and agete is to give. So he's like, please teach him a bunch of stuff. Do it as a favor for him. Kukui Hakase no shiriai nano desu ne. So Professor Kukui Hakase no, so it's something that belongs to him. Oshiriai, that means acquaintance. Literally, if you look at the kanji, it's like the same ones as shiru, to know, and also ai, to like meet or to join together. So it's one of those kanji that really makes sense. Oshiriai. I put the O. The O just makes it more formal. You just need the shiriai for the dictionary. So shiriai, acquaintance. See? Nano desu ne. So the nano is sort of a soft, it's both explanatory, also indicating that she's received the information. Yeah. used a lot for girls. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. So the yoroshi is a very polite way to say good. So if it's goodly onegaishimasu, it's like nice to meet you. Let's see. Morgan says, I did a year of study at uni last year, but barely studied all this year. But back to square one. That's basically what happened to me, Morgan. It's not fun. Keep up with your studies, kids. Just another mic. I'm hoping to go to Japan for a language study for business. Ooh, that sounds really cool. I hope you have a good time there. Work hard, but also play hard. Okay. 我らの島キング、原さんのお帰りだ. Okay, so 我ら is like us. It's a like plural us. So our 我らの our 島キング island king 原さんのお帰りだ. So お帰り is like their return. Comes from 帰る, which literally means to like return home. So you know, お帰り. And 原さん. Who's 原さん? 守り神に選ばれた男. So 選ばれた is to be chosen. That's our 選ぶ to choose, but then 選ぶ to be chosen. 選ばれる which is the passive form, and then past tense た選ばれた. If you watch Digimon, specifically like Digimon Adventure, they say this word all the time. They're the 選ばれた子供たち. Like, it gets ingrained in your brain. Anyways, Mamorigami is our god, Kami, god, and Mamori is protecting. So it's their guardian god, guardian spirit. Anyways, so 選ばれた, Mamorigami ni 選ばれた means was chosen by the guardian god, by the guardian spirit. This is the same ni that we saw earlier with the Onisuzume ni osowareta. So, and then otoko at the very end is man. It's the man chosen by the guardian god. Aurora de mo naute no Pokemon Sky. So, Pokemon Sky literally means Pokemon user. Sometimes if they have Sky at the end of something, it usually means it's someone who uses this. Naute, I had to look this one up. Honestly, it means like notorious or famous. And it's not seen very often. Like I just searched for it in the dictionary, but all you're seeing right now is white because this dictionary doesn't even have it in there. Online dictionaries like jisho.org do have it in there. So that tells you whether you should put that in your list of words to learn. Don't bother right now if you're still like learning other words like tsukau. It's all about priorities, you know? But still in this case, we need it to understand. So naute means notorious. So naute no Pokemon Sky is a notorious Pokemon user, Pokemon trainer. And Aurora de mo. So like in all of Alola, so he's famous around all of Alola. Gonna take a sip of tea while we're watching him strut up those stairs. Nanika arimashita kana? So this is, yet again, we saw the dareka earlier, which meant, like, you know, dare means who, but dareka means someone. So nani means what, but nanika means something. And aru means to be or to exist, or like to exist, used for inanimate things. So nanika aru means was there something, but this is arimashita, a more polite past tense. So nanika arimashita is did something happen? And then the kana is just questioning. Like, it seems like it did, but, you know, I'm going to still ask it. Chotto, Hara-san, doko ni itte tan desu ka? Chotto is like, little bit. In this case, it's like, you know, kind of, but wait a sec. Hara-san, our island king, Hara, doko ni itte, doko is where, so doko ni itte is, where did you go? Itte tan desu ka? So that's our past tense, but it was also like progressive. So he was off doing something, but now he's back. It just finished. Doko ni itte tan desu ka? That's our question. Shima kingu desu kara na. So the desu kara na, literally like desu kara, that's from this reason, because of this. So because I'm the island king, shima no mondai ga okoreba. Okay, so shima no mondai. Mondai is problem and shima is island. So shima no mondai is the island's problems. And if they ga okoreba, if they like okoreba means to occur. Okoreru. Okoru, sorry. Yeah, see, to occur, to happen. Gotta make sure it's on the stream. Yep. Just checking every once in a while. So if they happen, if the island problems happen, kaiketsu ni ikimasu na. So this ni ikimasu is a pretty common form. It means to go do something. So you could be like, eiga o mi ni ikimasu. I'm gonna go see a movie. In this case, it's kaiketsu ni ikimasu, which means to go solve it. Kaiketsu means solution. Kaiketsu, settlement, solution. So, you know, if an island problem happens, I go solve it. Nah. He's like, right. That's his whole job. Hello. Hara is saying, de, ririe, nanika arimashita kana? And de is kind of the, well, ririe, nanika arimashita kana? So he's saying, okay, now that we got over me explaining that if there's a problem, I go solve it. So Lily, did something happen? He's repeating his question from earlier. Nani yara kapu kokeko no tobu sugata o mikakemashita ka? Mikakemashita ga. So nani yara, that's the what, but with the like nani, what, but with the yara added at the end, it makes it more like for some reason. So for some reason, kapu kokeko no tobu sugata. Sugata means form, and tobu means to fly. So like, kapu kokeko's flying form. And then mikake shimashita. So mikakeru is like to catch a glimpse of, to catch sight of it. So for some reason, I saw the form of kapu kokeko flying around. Like, what? Ano hara-san. Not ano, sorry. Ano would be like, but this is Anohara-san. So like, oh, that? Okay. And tsuribashi no ue de onisuzume ni osowarete ita. So look again, look, this is the ni osowarete ita. Was attacked by onisuzume-san. That's Spiro's. Tsuribashi means rope bridge. And no ue de, when you have ue ni or ue de, it means above it. It doesn't mean like, it can mean above in the sky, but in this case it just means like on top of the bridge, standing on the bridge. Like tsukue no ue would mean like something that is on top of your desk. It doesn't have to be in the air. It can just be sitting on top of it. Kono ko kochira no ho ni. So yet again we see that kono ko with the katakana ko, and we know from earlier that that's specifying Hoshigumo-chan. And then kochira no ho ni. This kochira is referring to us, the player. So, you know, you got to pay attention to that. So the kochira no ho ni is because of this guy. Like, because this guy, mamotte moraimashita. So morau is to receive and mamotte is to protect. So mamotte moraimashita is like received as protection. This guy protected Hoshigumo. Nicole asks, what books have I read during my self-study? I've played more games like Pokemon, as I said, I played through, and that takes a while. I've also read some Yotsubato manga, which is really good for beginners because it has a lot of just like daily dialogue. A couple other things, like I just got in the mail the first Kiki's Delivery Service book. That's a like whole other topic though. Back to the game. Demo, tsuribashi wa kuzure. That's tanisoko ni ochisou ni nari. So, kuzure means to crumble. Like, that's why it's like, if you look at the kanji, it makes sense. I could kanji right now, but I'm not going to. But it means crumbling, collapse. So, tsuribashi wa kuzure means the bridge was collapsing, and then tanisoko, so that's tani, which means a valley, and then soko, which means bottom. So the bottom of a valley or ravine. Tanisoko ni, going towards that, ochisou ni nari. So this is ochisou, like looks like they were falling, ni nari, which means like to become. In this case, it just means it looked like they were going to fall to the bottom of the ravine. Soko, 島の守り神さんに助けていただいたのです。So, そこを this is Soko literally means like there, that place. And then Shima no Mamorigami-san. So the island's guardian god, Shima no island's guardian god, Mamorigami-san ni. So because of him, 助けていただいたのです. Says いただいただ is from いただく or いただきます. You know what you say before dinner. It literally means, it's a very formal way of saying, I'm going to receive this. So we received being saved by the island's guardian god. 助けていただいたのです. And the no des is explanatory because she's telling a story, giving a reason what happened. Kukui saying, oh, そいつはすごいぜ. Soitsu is like that guy. It's different than koitsu, who would be like right here. Soitsu is like over there. And we're using the over there soitsu because we do not see the mamorigami right now. Sugoi means really cool. Hara says, oh, mamorigami to 言われるも気まぐれなカプコケコ. So, mamorigami to 言われるも. So, he's using that to say like it is called the guardian god. But it's more like saying our guardian god, Kapukokeko. It's kind of chopped up in this sentence, though. You'd have to look at the whole sentence. We'll get there. Kimagure means like fickle. So he doesn't just help anyone. You know, whim, caprice, whimsy. He doesn't just help anyone. He only helps people he chooses to help. Which isn't really a great quality for a guardian god, but, you know, that's how it goes. So the kimagure na kapukokeko, the fickle kapukokeko, who is called their guardian god, kokoro o ugokashita no desu na. So kokoro o ugokasu. Ugokasu means to move. We saw this kanji ugokasu earlier when Lily was not able to move her legs. So, you know, it's to move something. And kokoro o ugokasu means to move the heart. So, you know, like, you moved him emotionally. Kukui yo subarashii koto de wa nai ka? So, this is subarashii koto, an amazing thing, de wa nai, isn't it? You could, de wa nai is negative, but it's clearly being used in a positive sense here. So that's why I'm saying the isn't it? Like, isn't that just great, Kukui? Yuki to yasashisa o motsu kare ni. So, yuki to yasashisa. Yuki means courage. To puts them together, like we're making a list. And yasashisa, kindness. So, yuki to yasashisa o motsu. That's to hold kindness and courage. And when we have a verb right in front of kare, that's modifying that whole bit up there. That whole top line is modifying kare. So it's a guy who holds courage and kindness. And to this guy, ni kare ni Pokemon o takusu kara. So I'm going to give this Pokemon to him because. So like because of that. トレーナーになってもらいたいぞ. So トレーナーになって become a trainer, and then もらう means to receive. もらいたい is I want to, like, you know, I want to receive it. I want to be the one to give that to him. はじめまして、メレメレの島キング原と申します. So はじめまして, this is our greetings. These whole videos would make great greeting episodes. You know, it's the first time. It is the beginning of our relationship. はじめまして。メレメレの島キング。メレメレ's island king. 原と申します. I'm called Hara. ようこそアローラへ. Welcome to Alola. Alola, he's not doing the hand thing. Everyone do the hand thing. Alola. Kukui kara. Kimi no koto wa kiite mashita. So from Kukui kara. Kimi no koto wa your thing, your whole deal. Kimi no koto wa kiite mashita. That's kiku, to listen, so I heard it. お会いできて嬉しいですな. So, not お会, I'm sorry, お会い. お会いできて. So, お会いできて means like to be able to meet you. And it's the te form, which means it's connecting to the next thing. So like, to have been able to meet you, 嬉しいですな makes me so happy. I'm happy that I was able to meet you. よーし、ポケモンたち、顔を見せるのですぞ。よし is like, alright, Pokemon tachi. So the tachi is yet again, we use it a lot. It's a pluralizing suffix, which means you put it at the end of something to make it obvious that there's more than one. There's 3 in this case. Kao o miseru is to show a face. So like, okay, Pokemon, let's show your faces. And it's our starters. All right. So, if everyone wants to vote on the starters, let's go through the lines first. But if you want to start voting on the starters, I'm just going to be writing them down. And then we're just going to choose right here. Okay. Mazu wa kusa no Pokemon mokuro. So mazu means first. And kusa is grass. So kusa no Pokemon, grass type Pokemon. He doesn't say grass type Pokemon. He's saying grass Pokemon. But you know, it's a grass type Pokemon. Mokuro. And he does his little dance. How cute. Tsugi wa next. Hono no Pokemon Nyabi. So Hono is flame, so a flame Pokemon, fire type Pokemon, Nyabi. Nyabu. Saigo wa Mizu no Pokemon Ashimari. Saigo is at last, or not at last, like the last one, the final one. Mizu, water. Mizu no Pokemon Ashimari, the water type Pokemon. Ashimari. Alright, I've got Ashama. Alright, I've got one for Ashimari, one for Nyabi. Yeah, I can read Japanese, Paul. You don't have to write it in both. Thank you, though. Dono Pokemon no erabaremasu kana? So, which Pokemon? Dono Pokemon o, which is our, like, we're going to do something to it. That thing is erabaremasu, to choose, or like to be chosen. So which Pokemon are you going to choose? We have, let's see, Snifficore. Writing it in English and Japanese doesn't get you 2 votes, everybody. My goodness. Okay, Mike voted for Litten. Nicolay, Morgan's voting for Ashimari. Carl's voting for Litten. Dakota's saying Mokuro. Oh, okay, thank you, Paul. Cardamom wants Ashimari. Mr. Beard is going for Litten. Let's see, I want to make sure I have this all down. Ooh. Yep. Snifficore. Oh. Okay, I think I got it all down. Wow, I'm surprised. I was actually expecting people to choose Rowlet. I don't know. I feel like Rowlet's just the most popular among my friends. Hole's calling for Litten. So that is 5 for Litten, 3 for Ashimari, and only 1 for Rowlet. That makes me so sad, actually. It's okay though. I like all 3 of the starters a lot, actually. Which is why I put it up to a vote, because I personally couldn't decide. When I was playing my own game, I literally had to close my 3DS for like 30 minutes and stare at the wall while trying to decide which one I wanted. So, anyways, these are, Nicolay also is asking for Nyabi. So, you know, that's 6 for Nyabi versus 3 for Poplio and 1 for Rowlet. So we're going to go for that one. The Hono no Nyabi. So literally that just means like Nyabi of the flames, but it means like the fire type Pokemon Nyabi, just shorter. Hono type no Pokemon. See, there we go. All out right there. Hono type, fire type, or that's more, it's literally flame type, but you know, English translations, we know it as the fire type Pokemon. Nyabi ni nasaremasu kana? So, nasaremasu. Oops. Let's see this. I just want to see what this pulls up. To perform. Yeah, no. It's, anyways, to do it. Like, to pick it. Hi, we're gonna do it. Nyabi ni kimeta. You decided on Nyabi. Hello to you too, Jalald. Okay. お互い選び選ばれてこそ真のパートナーと言えますな. So, this is actually a little bit tricky to break out. This might be something that I make a different video about to really break it down. But basically, お互い means mutual, like together. So, like mutually, 選び選ばれてこそ. So, 選び選ばれて, you have two different you have two different actions of choosing happening, and they're mutual. And what that means is, I already chose him, but he has to choose me as well. The koso right there, this is a really weird thing to translate. What it does, there's not really a word for it in English. It just adds emphasis. So he's like, you already chose it, but it also needs to choose you. If you don't both choose each other, it's no good. Because shin, reality, no partner, so the true partners, the real partners, to iemasu na. Like, if you both choose each other, like mutually choose each other, then you'll become, like, you're going to be the actual partners. You'll be able to say that you are real partners. So let's see. This is the big moment. Oh, I hope he chooses me. それでは、にゃーびは君を選ぶのか見ましょうぞ. So, それでは is like, well then. にゃーびは, so にゃーび is the subject of the sentence. 君を選ぶのか. So this is 君を選ぶ to choose you, のか. So we see this a lot like 選ぶのかどうか, which means like to choose or not. So is Nyabi going to choose you? Or is he not going to choose you? 見ましょうぞ. Let's watch and find out. Make a spectacle of it, why don't you? This would be so humiliating if Nyabi didn't choose me. Like, all these people watching. I just moved to town. Nyabi wa Tomu o kini shi nagara mitsumette iru. So, 気にしながら means like, so 気にする is to pay attention to care about a lot. So 気にしながら is not 気にしない, which would be does not care about. The しながら is while doing this action. So while caring a lot about this action, like while caring a lot, 見つめている is staring at you. So Nyabi is just like really into this. Almost as into it as I am, I think. Oh, look at those happy little eyes. Lily seemed really shocked. Like, Lily did not expect this to happen. We should rewind it if I could. にゃーびを優しく抱きかかえた. So, daku is like to embrace or to hug, or in this case it means just like to pick up, to hold in your hands. So, 抱きかかえた is like to pick it up. Yasashiku is gently. So we gently picked Nyabi up in our hands. Nyabu? 炎のポケモンニャービは Fire type Pokemon Nyabi 鼻をヒクヒクさせている. So, hane is nose. Hane, I'm saying hane. I'm sorry, it's hana. 鼻をヒクヒクさせている. So, hiku hiku is like to twitch. Let's look it up. It's cute. So, if it's, and saseru is like to cause it. So, you know, Nyabi's making its nose twitch. Hiku hiku. Hiku hiku. ほう、ニャビもトムを認めましたな. So, 認める is to recognize, literally, but it can also mean like to deem worthy or to accept or to choose, as in this case. So, ニャビも, ニャビ also, that mo is just like wa, it replaces wa actually, but it means like as well. So, ニャビ also chose Tom. Tomu o, Tom, 認めました. Chose. 互いを. So, same kanji. It's not an otagai, it's just more casual. Mutually, 互いを認め合った君たちは. So, the two of you who both chose each other, 永遠の友達だぜ. Tomodachi is friends. Learn that word if you don't know it. And 永遠 is forever. So, the two of you who chose each other will be friends forever. What a magical adventure. Gilald, your heart is melting, and it should be. I'm not going to tsukemasu a nickname on Nyabi because when I'm playing in Japanese, I like to actually learn the Japanese names. When I play in English, though, I will. But you know. ニャビを手持ちに加えました. So, 手持ち is the things that we are holding in our hands. Like, it's literally hand and holding. So, it means the things that you have on your person right now. 手持ちに加えました. 加える is to add. So, he was added to your party. He was added to the things you're holding in your hands. You know, as opposed to being sent to the computer. ニャビさんですね. So, this is an interesting sentence where if you didn't know a Japanese very well, you might literally just think she was saying, that's Nyabi, because she's literally just saying, that's Nyabi. But given the context, more of what she's saying is like, oh, you chose Nyabi, like, instead of the other ones. Pui. Oh, Hoshigumo-chan. Mo. Hashaide. So, mo means, like, already. And hasaide comes from hasagu. Hasagu, maybe? I need to check that up. Yep, hasagu, which means to, like, be happy, to frolic around, to move around, you know. Oh, you're already getting out and about and moving around, which is, like, so the reason it's mo hasaide is because Hoshigumo just used its power on the bridge, remember, and it shouldn't be able to move after that. She was probably super stoked for him to not be dancing around. Him or her. I think it's genderless. I don't know. Hara-san ya hakase desu kara. So this ya is connecting them as like a list. It's kind of like the to earlier, but you can include more people in that as well. So hara-san ya hakase desu kara. This means because they're here. So like because the professor and Hara are here, nanika atte mo. Attemo is like, even if nanika is something, so even if something happens. Nanika atte mo, anata o mamotte kudasaimasu kedo. So, even if something happens, nanika atte mo, anata o mamotte, you, like, they will protect you. Kudasai is like, and will receive it. Kedo is but, so like, okay, because they're here, even if something happens to you, they'll protect you, but, fudan wa baggu ni itte kudasai ne. Please go in the bag like normal. She's just, you know, she's being very protective. Bagu ni itte kudasai is just go into the bag. And fudan means normal. Actually, you know, this is one of those times when it's like kanji are so helpful because if I just seen it in hiragana, I'd have been like, what the heck is fudan? But because I know those kanji, fu means normal and that dan is like stairs. So fudan is like normal, habitual. And so I could tell just from the kanji that it meant usually, habitually, ordinarily. See? So, 普段はバグに行ってくださいね. So, please get in the bag like normal. いいポケモンさんですよね. So, that's a good Pokemon. 大切にしてあげてください. So, 大切, we already saw this with 大切のものポケット. So, it's the important items pocket, remember? So, this is 大切にして, which means importantly do it. So, treat it with care. Treat it importantly. Treat it like it's a valuable thing. Please, kudasai. So, you know, treat your Pokemon well. It's your partner. Yosh, これでトムも今日からポケモントレーナーだぜ. Yosh is like, alright, これで from here, トムも, Tom is as well, 今日から, so from today, ポケモントレーナーだぜ. You're a Pokemon trainer. Even Tom. 1 second. I did not know that Litton's evolution was based on a famous wrestler. I don't know much about wrestling. Yeah, I know a lot of people wanted 4-legged evolution for it, but, you know, we get what we get. I actually like the evolution a lot, too, so I'm pretty content. Anyways, so, これで, so because of this, you are also a Pokemon trainer. トムもポケモントレーナーだぜ. 僕からも, so, also from me, so the reason he's using boku kara is from me, but the mo is like, you got that other thing from the Island King, but from me too, 素敵なプレゼントだ. 素敵 means nice, the na connects them together, and プレゼント means present. トムはポケモン図鑑を手に入れた。Tom received the Pokédex. ポケモン図鑑は出会ったポケモンを自動的に記録する。So, 出会った、出会う, we saw this earlier with Lily, remember? It's like to come across. So, the Pokédex is 出会ったポケモン you come across 自動的に記録する automatically records them. So it automatically records Pokemon you come across. ハイテクな道具なんだ. So it's a high-tech tool. 君がパートナーにしたニャビも記録されているよ. So 君がパートナーにしたニャビ means the nyabi that you made your partner. So パートナーにしたニャビ and then 記録されている. So it's like される is a form of suru, to do, which means that like it did it, like it automatically did it. It forced it to happen. Yeah. So, you know, if it's doing it automatically, it forces it to happen, basically. So, 記録されている. チェックするといいぜ. So, チェックする means to check. This to is a conditional, and いい means good. So, チェックするといい literally means like, if you check it, that will be good. But in a more like localization sense, you wouldn't write, if you check it, that'll be good. If you saw that in an English game, you'd be like, what the heck were the translators doing? They were taking naps. You'd really just write like, you should check it out. It is good if you check it out. Like, that's the best thing to do right now. Oh, and what's this? こっちは、用意していた君のトレーナーパス. So, 君のトレーナーパス is your trainer pass. And 用意 means preparations. 用意. Let's pull up the kanji. I like using the dictionary right here. If people think that the dictionary helps them, let me know. Not this one. This one. Preparation. 用意していた. So like the so 君のトレーナーパス. So this is the trainer pass that I prepared. こっちは is this thing. トム、早速新しい友達をお母さんに紹介するかい? So, お母さんに紹介する means to introduce to your mom. 友達を you're going to introduce your friend to your mom. 新しい友達 is your new friend. And 早速 is immediately. It literally is the kanji both for fast and for early, both of which can be hayai put together. Let's look at it. 早速 at once. So like, are you going to introduce your new friend to your mom, like, without delay right now? Are we? No, because I've been streaming for an hour and my voice is getting sore. Thank you everyone so much for coming. Let's look at our nyabi while I'm talking. I can't wait to actually get to play the game next time. This was mostly just a bunch of reading. As I said, I'm going to be putting transcriptions both for this video and for the last video on our website. I'll send those out in a tweet. And when I do a stream, hopefully I'm going to be streaming every Saturday is my goal. Tomorrow I'm busy and it's Thanksgiving break, so I had a day off, so I did it Friday instead. But my goal is going to be every Saturday in the afternoon, around the same time as we did this. So please look forward to that. I'll be tweeting about it and posting on the YouTube channel about whether that's happening or exact details on whether that's happening. And before that comes out, I'm going to be posting transcriptions of these episodes. I'll put hiragana in those transcriptions so you can study them and read them. And tweet at us or post comments on the video about like specific sections of the text that you had a bit of trouble with. And you're like, can you please explain this a little more in depth? And if you don't do that, I'm just going to pick the stuff I thought was very interesting because I've got a lot of things from this section that I thought were very interesting, actually. I had so much fun with everyone. Thank you so much. I hope I see you next week. That's basically it. We're going to go on a great big adventure. All right. I'm going to save. And when it's saving, I'm going to say goodbye and I'm going to stop the stream. Thank you, everyone. See you next week. And stop.